Go, let's go. Welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk with your host, me, JB. It is the playoffs here at West Virginia, and we're finally back on the field for week two. I have a special guest, someone who's never been on here before. Obviously, he's from the other side of the state, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Coach, can you just tell the viewers who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, man. Donnie Mays. I've been a head football coach for quite some time. I think I've lost count years wise. It's been a long time. 16 years at South Charleston High School, and now this is my third season at Hurricane High School. So just trying to get things flipped around over there and do things the way we want to do it. And it's been a pretty good transition and a nice little environment over there.
I think the flip has gone well for you. You're in the second round of the playoffs. I had a chance to watch you guys this year against Martinsburg. It was in the first half, and you were in there, you were battling. It didn't end up the way that you wanted it to. Um, what is it? What can you draw from games like that, playing opponents like that, that can prepare you for where you're at in the playoffs now?
Well, first of all, I think that's the biggest thing that my staff has taken the approach, and we all agree the same thing that we're not going to duck anyone. You have certain teams in our state and our conference and all that stuff that just they'll avoid playing you at all costs just because they're afraid of competition or afraid of losing. We're not like that. When I was at South Charleston, we took on the Mountain State Athletic Conference, which is by far one of the toughest conferences in our state. The EPAC's really making a name for itself right now. But the Mountain State Athletic Conference has been a very tough conference for a long time. And we went outside of that and played Johnson Central, Kentucky, who was a 4A football school and powerhouse over in Kentucky, won state championships the years we were playing them. And we continued that trend whenever we got to Hurricane High School, and we put Martinsburg Bulldogs on the schedule. It's the old Ric Flair thing. To be the man, you got to beat the man, and
Yeah.
you got to measure yourself against people like that. And because ultimately, when you play in the Mountain State Athletic Conference, then you turn around and pick up a Martinsburg. You can't find the people who want to play locally and stuff like that. We had to go out and get a DeWitt, Michigan team to play us this year. So we've traveled. We've seen really good football. We know what good football is. We know who has good football, and we really respect the Northeastern Panhandle. And luckily Martinsburg had to come down to us, but we had to figure out real quick who we were. We jumped out on them 17-0, but like most Martinsburg games, they kind of find a way and figure out a way to win the ball game. So we were on the wrong end of that, but at the same time, like we learned a lot from us battling those teams. So it was a good experience.
Well, I think your team is a very good team. Jefferson also played Martinsburg really close going into halftime. They end up losing later on in the game. You two are ready to see each other now.
Yeah.
What can you draw from your experience throughout the year that's going to help you travel to Shenandoah Junction, take on the Jefferson Speed that has a lot of team speed. What can you draw from your season that will help you Saturday evening at Cougar Stadium?
Well, I think that just the travel alone will be not a big deal to us. Like we went up to DeWitt, which is a 6.5 hour trip, played the game, and turned around and went back home the same day. So we're taking this one a little slower because it's the playoffs, and we're going to go up tomorrow and enjoy our time together. I think that's the biggest thing. Like when we went on that real quick trip to DeWitt, we bonded. Our kids really got closer, and
Yeah.
it kind of helped springboard us into having the season that we've had. But outside the Martinsburg game, we lost two games by a combined 10 points. So, that experience alone has helped us become a stronger football team because we got into a game the other night against George Washington where we weren't playing our greatest. Weather conditions were horrible. The balls are slick out there, and we're missing blocks here and there. We're turning the ball over. Just not one of those nights. And we figured out by not quitting that we had a chance to win, and we actually prevailed from at the last second.
I've mentioned Jefferson speed. Jefferson High is really known for speed or track, and they tend to bring that to the football field. What do you have to pack with you defensively to take down Shannon Junction that's going to have you walk away with the win on Saturday evening?
Just they're a team that does a nice job of getting the ball to their players in space, like you're talking about. So I think that's the biggest problem for any high school team is you got to learn how to defend space, and if you can't do that at an early state, you're going to have problems later on. I think we've improved. I think that our defense has gotten better throughout the year. I think at the beginning of the year we were trying to find an identity, and I think at the middle of the year, probably after we got 70 hung on us by DeWitt, we started to figure out like we got to get some certain areas fixed and personnel issues fixed. So we really harped on that stuff. And the secondary play, our safeties, they've kind of helped develop this defense into a pretty solid defense. I'm not going to act like we're anything near what we've been with some of the better defenses I've had, but as far as like the knowledge of what we're trying to do, accomplish the scheme, and making sure that guys are lined up appropriately, I think we've done a nice job of that in the second part of the season, and I think it's really helped us. The other night, we played, like I said, we played George Washington. They could have easily put a couple more scores on the board, but we held them to 14 points. So, you got to credit your defense when it comes to that. And you're always going to have a game or two where you need the defense to step up and win those games. And that's what they've done for us in the last few weeks.
From one coach to another, I think we both agree that in order to play fast, you got to know what you're doing. So being a Simon sound, knowing what you're doing is going to be a big key. So it sounds like you have a defense that you trust that's going to line up and execute and be able to fly to the ball because they know what they're doing. Offensively, you have a lot of explosive plays. You got a really good offense. What do you hang yourself on with your offense that you know that you carry in week in and week out? What can you count on?
Well, I think that everything goes through your quarterback, whatever team you're on. High school football, college football, in the NFL, it's all your head coach is an extension of your quarterback play. And I think that we have one of the better guys in the state. I feel that way strongly about Noah. I think that he goes out there every week. He understands what we're trying to get accomplished. He knows where to go with the football. He makes really good decisions, and he's just like a general out there. He's that coach on the field, just like our safeties are on defense. He's that coach on the field that really gets things moving for us. And he's been banged up a little bit lately, and it's kind of slowed us down. But we're hoping we can get him back to full strength by Saturday.
And coach, I won't hold you too much longer. What does it mean to have a group of guys in high school that are able to like take that Friday trip, that travel? I think to me, that's one of the biggest things about being in the playoffs. You get to travel, you get to bond, you get to stay in the hotels, things that they're going to do in college. What does that mean to you as a coach to be able to provide that experience for your kids before they leave off? To doing something they're probably going to be doing a lot in college that we always don't get the opportunity to do in high school.
Well, high school football to me is a simple word. It's all about memories. And from the time that you step foot as a ninth grader, your experience at your school is something that each and every year you gain something new from that experience. This being the first time that we've actually traveled in a hotel, this is a memory that we're going to have and we're going to be able to cherish for a long time, win or lose. I mean, football's bigger than the wins or losses on a football field. It's about that bond, about that relationship that we build with these players. And we want to make sure that our football team knows that we love them first and foremost, and I think that's the most important thing to anybody on our team. I think that since I've got to Hurricane, I think that we've really changed the atmosphere as far as like the coach to player relationship, and I mean I've got a lot of feedback from our players about that stuff. So that's one thing that we strive on is to make sure that our kids know that we care about them. So, getting text messages and things like that, we all do as coaches about wanting to come back and watch practice. About this kid who's at this college wanting to come back and watch practice. I got one the other day. So we're going to always make sure that that we can remember the little things like their birthdays and things like that. I mean, my phone, happy birthday. I don't know
Yeah.
when or whatever, but we're going to make sure that we recognize them and know that they were a meaningful part of our football team. I talk to a lot of former players all the time from South Charleston included, Zaki Lawton and Romeo Dunham and Mondrell Dean, who played for me at South Charleston and played for me at Hurricane. So guys, and Lucas Ripito, who was a Hurricane player for us. I mean, we're all texting and we're just trying to stay in touch the whole time because at the end of the day, football's going to end. Not everybody's going to go to college and have the experience of flying on planes to go play at Texas Tech or whoever it may be. it's going to come to an end, and you've got to have that strong background, that relationship thing. That's what I talked to the kids about this past week, is about making sure that you're always going to have a memory of good things with football, but you are in total control of whether this thing continues or not. So if you want it to continue, you got to have the person's back to the right and left of you.
Well, Coach, I think just this interview, it shows me that you are truly one for the kids, and that's hard to find sometimes. So Hurricane is lucky to have you. I'm blessed to have this interview with you. We're excited to showcase your guys' talent, Jefferson's talent, Saturday at Cougar Stadium. We wish you the best of luck. I say here at Home Team Sports all the time that we want to see our kids succeed both on and off the field. We wish you safe travels, a healthy game, and just a good competition against the Cougars. We wish you the best of luck and good luck Saturday.
Man, I appreciate it. It'll be fun. Coach Hunter's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time. We've played against, coached against each other before. That's a pretty neat little setup up there at Jefferson. We're looking forward to it. The people have always been very kind when we come up there, so it'll be a fun experience for all. God bless, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. God bless you.